Hello and welcome to Paydirt TV. I'm Dominic Piper. On today's programme we have Culpeo Minerals Managing Director, Max Chewsley. Max, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dominic.
Max, you're in the market to raise IPO funds for Culpeo and your projects in Chile. Can you explain to us a little bit about what you're looking to raise out of the IPO and when you decide choosing to list?
Yeah, thanks, Dominic. Look, we've got an IPO currently opened to raise $6 million. For hopefully listing on the ASX in the second half of August, and aiming to be on the ground in Chile drilling on that date as well.
It's a pretty busy time for IPOs. Are you seeing a lot of interest from investors? There's a real appetite for them at the moment, isn't there?
Well, I think, we've got a bit of a niche in the market where we're focused on copper, which is a little bit different to a lot of the other IPOs on the ASX, where we're focused in Chile on the medium-sized, sort of higher grade deposits in the Atacama Desert, where we believe there's a lot of upside. So I think, we offer a little bit of a different story to the investors.
Chile has a reputation really for these big, low-grade porphyry systems. But in your Las Patacas project you're targeting more IOCG style mineralization, a little bit higher grade. What's the rationale behind that?
Yeah, it's a good question, Dominic. Our board of directors have sort of recognised that the coastal cordillera of Chile is relatively underexplored when you compare it to the Andes, where most of the big porphyries are. We like the coastal cordillera because of the IOC potential, which IOCG deposits are usually medium size but higher grade. They're certainly the size that a medium-sized company can probably take into production without huge capital expenditure. And we also like this area, this coastal part of Chile, because of the amount of infrastructure that it's available. There's highways, there's power, there's mining towns with workforce available. So it's a lot easier to do work for a junior company in that part of Chile as opposed to the higher altitude Andes where those porphyries are. Obviously the porphyries are big, but they usually are lower grade.
You say it's a lot easier to do work. So what is the plan at Patacas then? I assume that is your flagship project. Are you ready to start drilling immediately on listing?
Yes, we are. We've got, look, there's been some historic work done at Patacas. There's been quite a lot of significant drilling intercepts already, but the previous explorers didn't really concentrate on moving that drilling result into the resource category. So we aim to link a lot of that historic drilling, build up a resource on that historic drilling. But we've also got some newly defined targets from some recent geophysics that we completed on the project. We completed some gradient array IP geophysics and some dipole-dipole geophysics, which has enabled us to define a few undrilled targets as well, which look very prospective. So it's a bit of a two-prong approach. And as I said earlier, drilling on the first day of listing, and at Patacas, drilling potentially up to 6,000 metres of diamond core.
That's an exciting start straight into the diamond core to define exactly what you have there. Where do you think you can take this project in the next 12 months?
Look, Dominic, we're aiming to, as I said, try to build up the resource that we already hope that exists on the project from the historic drilling, add to that some new targets that will hopefully produce the goods. So within 12 to 18 months we would obviously like to have a maiden JORC compliant resource on the project area.
As well as Paydirt, you've got a second project in Quelon, and again, it's rather than porphyry, it's higher grade, and you're targeting some of that manto style mineralization that we've seen. It can be very lucrative if you get onto the right system. Can you explain a little bit about your plans at that project?
Yes, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Quelon, Quelon's an interesting project. It's prospective for the manto style mineralization that we've already done some surface sampling on that outcropping mineralization up to 3.5% copper at surface. There's also potential at Quelon for IOCG style deposits as well. It's in a similar sort of position with respect to the Chilean coast. It is in the IOCG belt. So we've done well. We've inherited some historic geophysical data. We've obviously done a lot of surface mapping and geochemistry. Interestingly, no one has ever drilled Quelon, so it's a bit of a clean slate in that respect. So we're looking at doing a little bit more geophysics after the listing, but hopefully by the fourth quarter of this year, we will have worked up those targets so that we can move the drill rig into Quelon before the end of the year.
It's going to be quite a busy 12 months, particularly in the next 6 months or so. How is it operating in Chile? I mean, it's quite an ambitious task to start a new company in the other side of the world during a global pandemic. Are you confident that you can get operating there very quickly?
Yes, we're very confident. Well, some of our directors are involved in other companies operating in Chile. They've been very successful. They've got some good relationships with all aspects of the Chilean industry, from politicians down to the local drilling companies. We've got a drilling company already lined up to go to Paydirt in August. Obviously, we're not far away from the regional centre of Culpeo, where there's mining activity, readily available workforce. We've got some very good geologists working for us with IOCG experience. So we're pretty confident that it's going to be quite easy for us to get the drill rig drilling at Paydirt on the said date. And Chile's a mining country. It's the world's #1 copper producer, so it's very supportive of mining and exploration laboratories. And interestingly enough, there doesn't appear to be the amount of backlog that we're currently seeing in Australia. So we anticipate assays returning from the lab within 3 or 4 weeks after obviously the drill core is processed.
You mentioned that your fellow directors, Jeff McNamara and Zeph Reeves, have had experience and success in Chile before with Tesoro Resources, obviously, is flying at the moment. Have you seen a lot of investors follow that story across to Culpeo?
Yeah, no, we've had a lot of support from the Tesoro shareholders. Obviously, a lot of those shareholders are now investing in our new company. Obviously, the new company's focused on copper, so I think people have seen the success that Jeff and Zeph have had. Obviously everyone likes copper at the moment, so we have seen a lot of support. So yeah, that's very very promising, and we're very happy to have those people on board.
Well, Max, thanks very much for joining us today. Best of luck with the IPO, and hopefully we'll see you in the next couple of months with 6,000 metre diamond drilling program ready to go.
No, thanks very much, Dominic, and I look forward to getting some of these results out. I'm quietly confident that we'll have some good news for everyone.